Today I want to go over with you something we call UltraCrow. UltraCrow is the best of all worlds. UltraCrow gives you voice, inflatable, and lights all at the same time. Many of you have asked if we had anything with voice because you know that voice is perhaps the greatest deterrent for most pests, including deer and hogs and birds. So now you have it all in one unit. This is extremely effective for those food plots, gardens, and boathouses, boat docks where you have problems. So today I want to go over with you what comes in the kit. You can actually see at aircrow.com, you will be able to see this all in functioning real time with everything on in a real setting. All right, so first thing I want to go over with you is the battery. This is a 12-volt system. It comes with about a 15 amp hour 12-volt lithium battery. It's not lead acid battery, it's lithium battery. The lead acid battery costs a little less, but it does not work near as well. The lead acid battery weighs substantially more. Also, with a lithium battery, you get more time out of the battery per charge, and you can charge it many more times than you can a lead acid battery. The only thing with a lithium battery is it doesn't get sluggish and start slowly going down. If you know anything about lithium batteries, they go full blast till the end, and then boom, that's it. So if you run the battery down completely, and that can happen if you use too much time or you have a programming error, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But if that happens, do not depend on the solar panel to raise it up or resurrect it from the dead. It needs more voltage than just a 12-volt charger. You may say, well, I have a little deer charger, one of those little feeder chargers for the battery. That's not the same. Those are for lead acid batteries. This is for lithium batteries, and your kit UltraCrow comes with a charger, and before you use the unit in the field, fully charge it. But if it goes completely down, recharge it. Don't depend on the solar panel to bring it back up to the top, because it usually doesn't happen. All right, it comes with these two LED lights, and I'll show you in just a moment how to change the flashing mode on here. But the lights have a magnetic base, so you don't have to put any screws, you don't have to mount it at all. You can move it wherever you want to, you just undo it. Now there's two of them, and I usually like to put one across the field wherever the pests are, and I like to put one on top. And the reason I like to put one on top is because I want my inflatable kind of illuminated. And with that flashing going on, that inflatable going up, it's very effective. So that's easy enough. On top, you will see these two speakers. This is a Bose system. It's a very good waterproof system that can stay out in the rain without any problem. Now, don't put it underwater, but these speakers can be turned so that you can get maximum sound in the direction you want it. They don't have to stay faced the way they are right now. So that's very convenient. All right, the Bose unit here, you may not be able to see it all, but it comes with an SD card slot, a USB slot, Bluetooth, and it has radio and an auxiliary. So it's loaded with things. Most of the time, people are going to use the SD card. The SD card, we have preloaded on here a couple of sounds for you. One is barking dogs. Barking dogs is very effective on nearly all pests, but especially deer. And in addition to that, on the same SD card is one we call marching orders. It is like a drill sergeant at a shooting range. And it has a lot of highs and lows in it where his voice gets really loud, he's commanding them, then it gets low, and then he's ready, aim, fire, and then the guns go off. So you get a lot of effect out of that one segment. And if you want to add to this card, you can, or you can go and download. There's plenty of places for like $1 you can download the sound you want. Some people have grapes and they like the hawk sound. So they'll download just on a card that hawk sound, and it's very effective to scare off birds that are eating their grapes. So that's up to you. It comes with a little remote control as well. Once you get it programmed, you can kind of toggle through there and put it on whatever you want to. Now, real important is there are 2 quick disconnects inside of the unit, okay? And you can disconnect the blower and you can disconnect the lights. And the radio doesn't need a disconnect, or the receiver here, transmitter, doesn't need a disconnect because it has its own on and off. But the reason that's important is many people have told me that they like to listen to the unit just standalone, not even as a pest deterrent. And some of them, one man told me in my garden, he said that I turn the blower off, turn the lights off, and while I'm working in my garden, I get to listen to the radio or Bluetooth or whatever he wants to listen to. So that's pretty neat. It also is a really good on a boathouse. If you don't have a radio out there, this one here is extremely good. All right, so now I want to show you real quick too. Of course, there's a positive and a negative wire here, and they're labeled for you. But in addition to that, once you hook them up, the black goes to the negative, and the red goes to the positive on the battery. Now, once you have them hooked up, you can change the flash mode, and it's labeled with the yellow wire. The yellow wire will have a little sticker on there that says flash mode. And you can actually touch the negative pole while it's hooked up to the battery, and it's going to change the flash mode on this LED light. And there's 17 different flashes, if I'm not mistaken. Find the one you like the best, and they'll both change at the same time. Once you find that, discontinue tapping it, and it'll stay there. You might want to take the little wire. It's not hot. It's not a hot wire. It just changes the mode. Turn it back into the on the other wires where it is underneath the zip tie, so that it doesn't touch it accidentally and change your mode. All right, over here, very important, is the timer. The timer, you have to have some diligence. It's not hard, but it takes a lot of diligence because there's 28 on-off events that you can do in a 24-hour period. That's a lot. And if you mess up on one, it can drain the battery down. You can have 27 of them right, but if one is wrong, you can drain your battery down. For example, you may have thought to put 30 seconds, and you accidentally put 30 minutes or even 3 hours, and you come back and your battery's dead. 99.9% of the time, if I hear that, it is a programming error. So there are paper instructions that you can follow. I suggest you do that. There's also a video, a tutorial video that you can watch where we go through each function, and you can sit down and go over that with the video. I do suggest you program this before you get into the field. It's a lot harder to program it when you're standing there and it's hot or cold and you're trying to program it. Program it before you go into the field. All right, let me flip it real quick, and you will see the T-post adapter. It is a heavy-duty galvanized T-post adapter with a set screw. And when you get it set on the T-post where you want it, crank this thing down, move the unit back and forth, and make sure it's really good and tight. Crank it down some more until it's really steady. There are 2 screws that go into the unit, 2 screws come out by design. And the reason we don't want these screws to go to the inside, because this is where the battery is going to go on this side. And you don't want the points of the screws to perforate the casing of the battery. So those go out. So let me flip this back over. This is the blower, and the blower is attached with 2 screws, one on each side, and then we go on the inside and put 2 additional screws into the casing of the blower. We do that so that it will be on there really, really good. Shouldn't have any problems with it getting loose. But there's an additional reason that we do that, because you can actually elevate your inflatable with a 4-inch sewer and drain pipe, not Schedule 40. 4-inch sewer and drain. You go to any hardware store, pick that up if you don't have some laying around your place. You'll cut off, the top end needs to be smooth. Wherever you cut, 2 foot is the max, because if you go over that, it starts getting torquey. But let's say you go up 2 foot, smooth the edges of it, put some duct tape, electrical tape around those jagged edges because you don't want to cut your inflatable. And this will raise it up. There's a couple of things it'll do. Number one, it looks bigger. It'll be taller. That helps. It won't hurt the performance at all by raising it up. The other thing is that there are times, you'll notice on the bottom here of the blower, there is a plastic guard. This keeps the inflatable from getting sucked up, if you will, and going up into the unit and the fan blades cutting it. So this is a protective guard. Occasionally when it's hanging there and the wind blows just right, when the unit comes on, it sucks it up to the bottom and it won't go up. It won't hurt the unit, but it won't go up. So if you have that extension on there, that's less likely to happen. Also, real quick, I'll tell you this. Most people like to hang this thing up in the middle and hang it up high where it can be seen easy. Sometimes that's not what you want to do because it's seen too easy. What happens is the deer especially, they're very smart, as well as hogs, but hogs don't see as far as deer. But the deer will look and they'll see it hanging there and the wind's blowing and they see it and they kind of start to get used to it. And then when the inflatable goes up, it's not quite as spooky. Now, one other thing you can do is have multiple T-posts. One unit, multiple T-posts. Leave them in the ground. Rotate your unit periodically to kind of fool them. But what I was going to say is I like mine kind of close to the ground. I don't want the inflatable flopping around. I want it laying there, static. I don't want them to study it. So I put down some cardboard, a lot of cardboard, and I lay something down there to keep it down. And the inflatable lays on that and it stays clean and it won't get hung up on a bush or a briar or something like that, because trust me, it will if you lay it on the ground. So when this program goes off, then what happens is it comes up from nowhere and you get that element of surprise. And that is the greatest pest deterrent there is that element of surprise. So that's just what I do. All these techniques will work, but that's personally, I've tried a lot of them and that works the best. Also, this unit, while I'm showing you the one with a timer, there's also a unit that you can order that has a wireless motion sensor to it. It's also be available. All right, you're gonna get 2 inflatables with your kit. This one here is what we call the half crow. It's 3.5 foot. This one here is a 6 foot tube. The 3.5 foot little guy, he's cute, he looks good, people like him, but I'm just telling you, this 6 foot tube is the most effective. It pops up, it moves around, it's erratic, it seems to frighten them better. All right, this is the solar panel, 10 watt solar panel. On the back is a controller that keeps you from overcharging your battery. When it's red, it's charging. When it's green, it's fully charged. It's mounted, 2 screws at the top, 2 screws at the bottom. Very easy to mount. Very easy to mount on the T-post. I recommend a separate T-post from the one you mount this on. It can be mounted on the same T-post, but the inflatable is likely to get hung up on this. So I like to have a separate T-post. I usually like to mount it on the side where the plug-in is at. And it comes with about 8 or 10 feet of cord, so you'll be able to, don't put it too far where it's kind of like way out there because your inflatable can get wrapped around that. You want this cord to kind of come down your T-post, and I usually use some zip ties or tape to kind of tape it down. This fits at the top of the T-post, very top is the best place to do it. And there's a gasket that comes with your kit, like a hose gasket, and you're going to put it around the T-post and this tube and tighten her down. Once you tighten it down, you'll be able to rotate this towards the south sun or wherever you have the most available sun. Less sun, less charge. And if your T-post is upright and vertical, you won't have to adjust this, and you really can't. It's already preset. Just be sure your T-post is pretty vertical. So, all right, I think I've covered everything. There is a little cover that goes over this, and all this, the battery and this, all fits inside of here. It's snug, but it all fits. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're able to get the product. If you have any problems or questions, we're always here to help you. Thank you. You can go to aircrow.com to see all the products. Thank you very much.